on Secret Spring, the secret to the spring is that there is no spring on it. Over here on the left-hand side of our first map is going to be the red and currently teamless. I thought he had a team before, but currently teamless Sabre. I assume we have
Who
no
knows, man?
awesome introduction for him. Yeah, there we go.
Dedicating his
Dedication.
games tonight to our friends Neuralisk and Asium.
Yeah,
Yeah, Neuralisk has
his
yet
first.
to play also.
That's true. And his first act as his dedicated performance is losing his first SCP that was building a barracks. Maybe he was too busy typing that.
So pro. Yeah, his opponent getting the first blood SCV kill over on the right of Secret Spring is our good friend 440 Gaming's Ferret, Purple Terran.
And his barracks has gone up unimpeded. He's getting a Marine out first to shoot down his second SCV.
See,
which dies with no hesitation.
Builds. Yeah, Sabre has yet to get his orbital command, just pumping out the SCVs now. So he's even on worker since he lost that SCV, but now he doesn't have mules, so he's actually decently behind in economy right now.
Yeah, it's all weird so far. He's got a ton of gas. Like, he's got over 100 gas that he put down the reactor. Soon he's going to follow it up with a factory. He has to, yeah.
There it is.
But yeah, everything just seems oddly late for all that.
Yeah, maybe he's got about a 20-25 second lead on it by now.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think he wanted to clean the SCV before he put it down.
Yeah, Sabre deviating from the mirror matchup plan here, getting that second gas before his opponent. See what they end up doing here. Secret Spring is a map that can totally throw a wrench in the standard works here. So is Sabre heading out with these two Marines to take down the rocks or scout? I mean, scouting with these two Marines seems awfully silly. So yeah, he's got to be taking down these rocks here.
Yeah.
Interesting plan here.
I've seen him do something here. Yeah, probably. Given that he did go right up to that, although it's Ferret that's going to be getting the starport first. But yeah, I've seen him do this rock closing before.
Yeah,
more Marines coming up to join, let an SCV walk right by. Yeah.
That's a bummer. And Sabre now throwing down his starport, but he's preparing a tech lab for his starport. Going to go for a Cloak Banshee follow-up. Whereas Ferret is just building the tech lab directly on the starport after it finishes and opting to utilize his factory and barracks for unit production in the meantime. But Hellions moving out, maybe going to deny those rocks, but he pulls back, and now both players are locked off from each other by rocks. Well, Ferret going for a Raven first, so he's actually going to be completely fine from what Sabre's planning, that Cloak Banshee follow-up.
Yeah, I think he made the right call. He came in and saw that the barracks that was there earlier wasn't there anymore. It's just gone. So he must have figured it was pulled off to do the tech lab thing, which is exactly what it did.
Yeah, he hasn't seen that his rocks have been taken down just yet. He still thinks everything's fine and dandy for everything's up and running. So hopefully he doesn't try and like go for a move out. These Marines and Hellions will take forever to break through these rocks.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, the rocks, as in real life, rocks that fell over are 4 times harder to kill than rocks that are up in the air.
Indeed. Oh, indeed.
That's how it works.
Yeah, Ferret looking like he's ready to poke out here with his Hellions. Maybe just looking for some sort of proxy or... Oh no, the Hellions are just derping. He just moved to the other side of the map, and they're just going to the literal closest spot they can get, which is right up here on this cliff. And Sabre's Banshee out and ready to go across map and do some damage. Neither player getting that second command setter yet until, their Ferret just threw his down there, I guess. But Sabre needs to do some economic damage since he doesn't have his second base follow-up ready to go yet. Oh no, Ferret just moved his Raven and Marines out of position. This Banshee's actually going to get a few kills. Moving up into the natural, he's going to see that command center is down and ready. And Ferret smartly moving the SCV off of the command center so it doesn't get sniped here until the Banshee hunts it down. But Smart play. Didn't really work out, but like to see that. And Sabre clearly gearing up here for some mech play, getting that barracks way up to the north just to scout the rocks. It's not really where you want it if you want to be building a bio force here.
No, generally not. And he does like his mech play. It's a weird mech, but he does go into mech.
We'll see this
The other Banshee
continuing
coming
to
back
rack up
into the main
kills.
line.
The second Banshee here. It's up to
The turret
8
not yet
working kills
finished.
so
We'll
far.
have to get out here now. But there's a good amount of space behind there where he can
Ferret's
cancel
got
the
a-
supply depot. Actually, just kill it.
So-
Not even cancel.
And Ferret does have a Widow Mine in position at his natural. That might be able to get one of these Banshees. The second Banshee, or first Banshee's flying through it. It's going to take most of its HP and damage there now. Both these Banshees need to kind of hightail it out. They aren't going to be able to get much done. And Ferret's Hellion is trying to move out across the map to kind of counter with some SCV kills, but those rocks are still down, and they aren't going to be able to move out and do much at all. And they wouldn't get much done anyway if they were able to make it in. Sabre's Hellion count is vastly superior.
Yep, Sabre ahead in both army supply and workers at the moment. His tech, I dare say, is a little more advanced, although it's hard to compare because he's got bio upgrades on one side versus things like Cloak on the other.
Yeah, it was actually pretty nice. Ferret having to delay his CC allowed Sabre's later CC to catch up, so now he's actually finished first, but Ferret is following that up with a third CC immediately. So we'll see that get done here, and then he's going to get ready to expand into a 3-base play. But Sabre, once he takes down these rocks, which have just come down now in the north, he's going to be able to get quite a lot done. Already picking away at an SCV with one of his Cloak Banshees. Almost gets it before the Banshee gets scanned and dies.
Yep, and he's going to move the barracks all the way back down to the other set of rocks before coming in here with the Hellions, repairing up one of his Banshees. And yeah, this is all just very tactical stuff at the moment. Both of them had delayed their economies a fair bit to do what they're doing, but Ferret will almost have a third CC ready. But it took a long time for that natural to really get up.
Yeah, I think Ferret's going to have a bit of a problem here once Blue Flame finishes up. There's a lot of Hellions out for Sabre, and he's got an army that is very vulnerable to Blue Flame Hellions. These Marines that are completely unupgraded right now, they're about to have Stim, but they're going to be nice and soft to these Hellions for sure. And Ferret is preparing to open up the middle of the map here.
Yeah, and I think knowing where the army is, he's going to wait for it to come down here, start killing the rocks, and then he may run the Hellions in behind, but they're going to get spotted by this factory.
Let's see how Ferret reacts to that. He probably needs to pull back and just try and defend on his high ground with that. And his tank and his main is actually not sieged. Yeah, these Hellions preparing to move in from Sabre, moving into the main ramp right now. Sieges the tank, Ferret does, and Hellions moving in. Already Blue Flame's done. They're going to start just massacring these SCVs. That's 11 kills so far.
There is no real escape for this. There's so many of them still alive. It's going to be hard to run it all down. I'm not even sure he'd win a direct fight.
Might just lose all of his workers here. By the time Ferret's forces clean this up, most of his SCVs, 32 have gone down in just this attack. And all the Hellions do get cleaned up. That's 34 total now.
Yeah, there's only 8 alive for Ferret at the moment, and he can't even counterattack. There's rocks up. He doesn't know that well, he must know that somewhere rocks are down, but the ones at the top are still up. The Banshees will come in here, thinning out the counterattack before the Raven arrives.
Yeah, now that the Marauders are mixed in with this force, he'll be able to take down those rocks decently fast, but whether he tries to break down the rocks and go through the middle or walk around the north where Sabre came through, by the time he gets over there, yeah, he's going to be able to defend. And that's GG. Ferret taps out. Hey guys, welcome back to game number 2 in ASL Vanguard League. This is Group H, final group of Vanguard in the round of 32. And we're here on Inferno Pools, a map that you very rarely ever see in tournaments that allow their players to veto maps. But on this TVT, we're going to get started here on an Inferno pool. We actually have close positions on the north side. Then up one game here, down one game here on the left side, we have our purple Terran representing 440 Gaming. It is Ferret. Actually picks up that first SCV kill once again.
Yeah, and that's the second time that he has done that. Although at least in this case, it's not the SCV actually building a barracks.
That's nice.
Yeah, see where Sabre does develop this time around. He's once again lined up the 100 gas, but he's going for an add-on. The reactor is what started out of him as opposed to the factory right away. So no Reaper out of either of these players in either game yet. And we've already got actually a bunker coming down for Sabre up front, which is like really early.
Yeah, I mean, Sabre got the scout off for the close positions first. And since his SCV scout died, he might just be afraid something is going to come his way of the multiple racks variety. But he's going to finish that bunker, and he can always just salvage it when he doesn't need it. But starting two Reapers right away, actually.
Yeah, everything here is really weird.
Yeah, I mean, he might just be planning this since this map is actually not too bad for Reapers since there's that nice backdoor cliff on the main. And it can take units quite a while to move from the north to south of the main bases to defend those. But Ferret should be okay. By the time these Reapers get out in force, he'll have access to Hellions and Marines, which do fairly well against Reapers. Especially since Sabre hasn't added on more barracks or a factory or anything. He's just got the two Reapers so far.
Yeah, and he is going to continue to make two more. He didn't quite line up his gas for that. He had pulled off gas, and then when those first two were done, didn't quite have enough and delayed him a tiny bit. But he's got two more coming out. I'm still not sure what the bunker, I guess it's to fall back to later, but it is there.
Yeah, if this Reaper harass doesn't really work out, you kind of need that bunker for the Reapers to defend against the Marines and Hellions. But yeah, the Reaper's coming in, getting two worker kills so far, but the Marines are going to push them away pretty quickly. Actually going to pick up one Reaper here on top of the cliff.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sabre
this
falling
feels like
with a 5th and 6th Reaper.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah, he's
just
going to end
overall
up being
very strange today.
really behind if he tries to commit too hard to this Reaper play. I mean, the Reapers really are not going to do very well against what Ferret has, especially now that the Hellions are out. The Hellions are fantastic against Reaper. Oh, he's moving into position. He's going to kill these Reapers right off, or at least push them away. Sabre reacting quickly and saving those.
Yeah, there's just not enough space. Like, yes, he can come up and down the front and back, but the space can almost be covered by so easily by two Hellions. He is running the Reapers back now.
Yeah, now that the Hellions are there, but...
Yeah.
And Ferret preparing a drop with his Hellions coming into the main. The Reapers aren't going to be able to do much against that, so they can't shoot air. The turret's in position to kind of push the medevac away, and Sabre's starting his Marine production, so shouldn't take too much damage from this drop. But he is at risk for sure since he's so light on effective anti-drop units since he committed so hard to the Reapers. Let's go ahead and get dropped in the main here. They're moving in, starting to pick off some workers. Might pick up a couple. Oh, no, he just hightails it out of there.
Yeah, I had one almost dead, but that's about it. One with 3 hit points, and we'll have to leave.
His tech is really far ahead right now since Sabre's wasted so much gas on those Reapers. And I say wasted because he built 6 of them total, lost 1, and all he got was like 2 worker kills and a scout that he could have just gotten with 1 Reaper.
Right. But his command center obviously ahead. It's done. Yeah. But yeah, this
he
is
does have the
a big
economic
push.
advantage. And Sabre really only has the 4 Marines in the bunker and then the 5 Reapers backing it up, and 4 Marines up here in the main to defend this Marine Hellion push. So I think Ferret's not really going to be able to end the game with this, but he might be able to get some economic damage done, which would be really nice since his expansion is so far behind.
Yeah, the Reapers are coming out, and if they're completely out of position, but I think they sense something and maybe going for more of a flank. Either that or a counterattack at the same time, which would still do a lot of damage. It still requires a significant force at home to actually do anything about 5 Reapers.
Yeah, and Ferret preparing a bunker in his mineral line that he's rallying his Marines to now. So when those Reavers come in, they're definitely not going to be able to take down the bunker, even though there's only one Marine in there to push them away. But Ferret preparing this like 1-1-1 style push at the siege tank now. Sabre pulled some workers to defend this.
Tank. Oh, nice pickup. Really quick reaction there, actually, with the tank to keep it alive. He's now showing that.
This out well.
Yeah, tank at the front there has been killed. The second one just slightly out of range. There with vision, he's now good to go. But a tank from Sabre there holding things back. Reapers will have to come in from the other side. And he made two promises.
Stalemating, but yeah, the Reapers I don't think they aren't going to be that effective at a two-pronged attack, especially since
he wants to.
But yo, Sabre's trying it. Wanted to take out the tank. He's going to get it. Just barely though, and he's losing an awful lot of Marines. Actually, Ferret using a Hunter-Seeker missile there, but he has two tanks and a bunker to fall back on, so despite the fact that he lost quite a bit of army supply in that engagement, Ferret does not have the units he needs to move in on these siege tanks. And with turrets and Marines to defend in the main, elevator into the main isn't really an option for Ferret either.
Yeah, exactly. But still on even worker count, army supply is somewhat in Ferret's favor, and he will now actually be able to land his natural. Sabre has had his down, but he hasn't really been able to mine much from it since he's had to pull everything.
Prioritized the gas mining at the naturals. So his mineral income is actually way lacking compared to Ferret. And Ferret's done a fantastic job keeping his SCV production up, getting those workers even. He's down a couple workers at this point, but considering how late his command center was, he's done a fantastic job. This siege tank moving out of position here. It's going to go down. Sabre loses all of his Marines that aren't in that bunker. Ferret's in a fantastic position to keep applying discontain. With two Ravens out, you can be able to Hunter-Seeker and turret this. Yeah, Sabre needs to move that siege tank back. Not taking too much damage from these turrets. They are unupgraded, and the siege tank armor is more than enough to tank that damage a little bit. But now, Ferret has two tanks positioned to take down this bunker, and Sabre's late on the repair. He's actually going to lose a couple workers from this, maybe.
Coming out. Even with the Ravens there, there's only 3 Marines. So he can't do much about the
Banshees could honestly just move down and take out the Marines and then clean this up. Hunter-Seeker missile down on one of those tanks. Doesn't lose anything from it though. Wow, well done by Sabre to split his workers there.
Yeah, Banshee taking out the other tank.
From Ferret. This push is gonna peter out here, I think, now that all of Ferret's takes have been cleaned up. Sabre's gonna be able to get his workers back to work. His income is about half of what Ferret's is right now because of the workers needing to be out to defend and repair and such. Yeah, there you go. He sends those back to working now. He's going to boost his economy back up to Ferret's levels. And then this game is just going to stabilize until both players are ready to move out on their later stage attacks. Especially since Sabre just now finished Blue Flame and he doesn't really have that high of a Hellion count yet since he's been focusing on Tank and Banshee.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to see this late in the game, both of them are going to be on, still effectively on a one-base economy since their mains are both almost mined out. They're both down mineral patches now in the main.
Yeah, Ferret moving out with his Raven, Marine, and Tank force again. Checking for a third up here. Not going to see anything. He might be able to actually siege these turrets down. Since this cliff is so close, and then elevator up in the main, and Sabre is really undefended here other than these turrets.
Yep, the potential pickup here. He does
Sabre a little
want
undecisive if he wants to move to the high ground and low ground to defend this. His Hellions and Marines are just kind of dancing between the high ground. Siege Tank's going to take down the turret, and now Ferret's going to unload his Marines. And they have stim now, so this is a huge threat to any Hellions that move in here. He's going to take down this factory, actually, losing quite a few Marines to the siege tank that's now in position, but Ferret is getting some damage done.
He's giving up a lot of his army to do this. Another Hunter-Seeker going off will not kill the tank, and he does split away from it.
Yeah, these Marines getting
Like-
re-dropped out one at a time. They just get massacred by that tank. And Ferret's push, again, is just going to be stopped short.
Left it, left it.
Oh, actually picking up that siege tank with the Blue Flame
Hellions
Hellions on the cliff there. Sloppy play by Ferret, losing that.
Yeah, he could have picked that up, but he is now moving the rest of his force over down the top side of the map. But he's got no way to really break a siege tank line, and there's 4 of them up there now.
Yeah, I think Ferret just keeps wanting to contain and put on the pressure here since he's trying to establish his third base.
Oh wow, he sees
Stimming
them
in
on
as the siege
siege,
tanks
goes
are
in.
unleashed.
Yeah,
He's going to pick up 2 tanks here,
Huge
4
backup.
tanks. Yeah, huge
Yeah, and I
swing
think
there.
he do-
This contain is a lot less strong now.
yeah. But
Trying to
it's
take
still
down this
strong
bunker
enough
with
to
the
hold
SUV
this.
repairs. Way too strong. Blue Flame Hellions moving
The Blue
down,
Flame.
cleaning up this army a little bit. Both going to trade decently evenly, but now Sabre's out of Hellions on the high ground. He's kind of hanging on by a thread here. The loss of those siege tanks really hurt his position. And this bunker might go down before the SUVs are able to repair, and the Marauders take it down with that stim. Yeah, Sabre is hurting here. And that
Yeah,
Thor
this is
coming
really,
out.
really scrappy.
Yeah,
Thor
the Thor
could
coming out is
definitely
gonna
help.
be pretty beefy, but yeah, Sabre's just going to lose all of his workers as soon as he tries to move down the ramp, if he tries to include the SCVs in that. And, Ferret just establishing a nice position here down at the bottom of the ramp. He doesn't really need to move up and kill Sabre here or anything. He's finding himself up 40 supply with a third base established. He's going to add on a CC down to turn into a planetary fortress at his natural, adding on barracks for production, and he's just sitting pretty here with a nice advantage in game 2.
Yeah, definitely catching those 4 tanks has been the difference so
Boy,
far. He's
stimmed
trying to
up.
bum rush
He's
in
going
here.
to win here.
Yeah, walking into siege tank fire yet again. The Thor is being repaired fairly well, but does fall there at the
Yeah,
end.
the repair was
really
clutch
only
there,
this,
but-
really only this Banshee left.
Yeah, and Ferret is looking to take game 2 here. There's not much Sabre can do. He's going to lose this natural and a lot of SCVs. He's going to be able to hold at the top of his ramp for a second, maybe. But Ferret's position is just only getting stronger by the second here. And just losing so many workers there. That's 42 SCVs killed with this push. And yeah, Ferret is just so far ahead now, up 70-some supply.
Yeah, I could see Sabre's trying to hold and wait for maybe the 2 CCs that he's hiding in the bottom to
Yeah.
actually take some
Dude,
form of effect, but
Yeah, he's trying to land one on the south island, and he's landing one in the bottom right main now. That
But
might
he's
that
on
gives him a
knowing
good
now.
reason to stay in this game. But yeah, he has 1 mineral patch left on his main with 60 minerals in it. He needs to hold strong here. And he doesn't actually have the minerals to turn his floating CCs into orbitals to get the mules going.
Right.
He only has the 1 orbital right now.
That does hurt. He's sending out a barracks on an exploratory basis. He does.
Well, these
note
Marines
that
are
there is
so
no-
overstimmed.
yeah.
It's actually pretty soft to the siege fire, but
Yeah, this could actually be interesting. If he doesn't have the ability to take out the Banshees, he will have to give up the position. But
yeah, he's
Sabre's
just so far ahead right now,
behind
up
it,
nearly
so-
100 supplies at like 90-some. Sabre might be able to bring this back with like mass battle cruiser or something. But this is Ferret's game to lose here. He's got his 4th base established, so he's on a full, healthy 3-base economy right now. And that position is not going to change for a while.
I wonder if this is a mistake, but Sabre's turning one of his CCs into a planetary, not into an orbital. That's a little optimistic.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, especially since he's playing against a Terran opponent with access to siege tanks.
Like,
That planetary
I
is
think
not
you have to admit,
that
if you find that, yeah.
Ferret
Yeah,
preparing
maybe landing.
to elevator up into his main. And Sabre's, he has 2 hidden bases, but he does not have 2 bases worth of hidden production. So if Ferret takes this position, Sabre's tech is gone, his production is gone, and his last few workers in this main are here just chilling. He has nothing left. He tried to lift his main down to his natural, so he's got his SCVs mining some minerals again now. But Ferret is just going to be able to A-move this here shortly. His army supply count is 103 currently to 45 of Sabres.
I do love these Banshees, though, still. There's 5 Banshees is a lot of Banshees.
Yeah, that's a lot
Right.
to deal with if you aren't
Yeah.
really fully prepared. Sabre actually investing 3 turrets here on the outskirts of his main base, trying to keep his production safe.
What
And he's going to be able to turtle this out for a little while longer.
he made the island one a planetary fortress too. If he,
What?
yeah, I don't know. At this point, if he knows they're there, you've lost the game. So turn them into orbitals at least. Like it's not like
Yeah,
they're gonna defend themselves down there.
I concur with that entirely. Drop here in the natural is Sabre's going to get quite a bit done before it gets noticed. It's 3, maybe 4 SCV kills there. No, just 3. Actually picking up to avoid those Banshees here. Sabre adding another turret here. He's going full turtle mode. You don't really see this many turrets and siege tanks when the person's this far behind the game outside of Bronze League. But with this
true.
many
Like,
tanks and Banshees, Ferret can't really afford to attack. But
yeah, I mean, we're at 5 base to 3 basically.
yeah,
And these drops can go wherever.
I mean that's pretty generous. Calling Sabre's economy 3 base since he has 3 workers on the
bases,
island and 5 on his hidden mainland base. But
Yeah, if they were all orbitals, this would be something. Kind of. It still wouldn't be enough, but it would be something. But they're not.
yeah, I mean if Ferret accidentally stims and then move commands, Sabre can clean this up maybe. But the problem is Sabre needs to be able to like clean up this attack that's coming and then move across the map and put on pressure, which he's in no position to do, except maybe his Banshees, but that's really hopeful.
Well,
And here comes the stim
off
from
the
Ferret.
command, right?
Yeah,
but
there's an awful lot of Marines here. These tanks are going to do work on these Marines, but there's just way too much. Yeah, and Sabre GG's.
Alrighty, here we are on Catalina, the final map in this best of 3. We've still got our TVT going on, both players at 1 apiece. And down here on the bottom right-hand side of the map, we have our Red Terran team list player. He is Sabre.
All right, and then his opponent in the top left of Catalina, showing a very strong high-pressure build last game to take this series back to even. It is 440 Gaming's Ferret, the blue Terran, in the top left. That game from him last game was fantastic. Big fan of that, just constant contain, putting on damage, and then capitalizing on his opponent, unsieging his tanks, and taking what was kind of a stalemate position into one game that Sabre bought a little more time with some hidden bases, but no island bases on Catalina, so no real opportunity for that.
Nope.
Sabre actually going for Marauder Concussive Shell first. Interesting.
It's totally kind of changing. We'll see. Yeah, is Ferret gonna continue? Like this is almost if you know for sure that like a Reaper attack is coming, but it's only going to be a single Reaper coming out, and the way that he's positioning it, it almost is as if he expects it to be a Reaper, and I mean there will be one.
Yeah, I mean Concussive Shell isn't even done yet, so that plan is just kind of not working out for him. I mean, he's gonna let Concussive Shell finish, and these Marauders might be able to get something done, but there's not gonna be any like Reaper all in here, and maybe Sabre's afraid of that since this map is so good for Reapers. But Reaper's gonna poke in here and get a full scout of Sabre's base.
Yeah, these
Marauders, as soon as they shoot the Reaper, it's gonna go down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nice. That's a nice pickup. But this investment into Concussive Shell and the barracks at the Tech Lab is kind of interesting.
Heavy.
I guess if you follow this up with Tank Banshees, it's that Tech Lab doesn't really prove to be useless or anything like that, but just an interesting opening. Typically when you see Marauders and Concussive Shell, this is like you scout your opponent going for like a 2 barracks Reaper all in, like the 888, or you proxy this stuff and just try and put on pressure and do damage yourself with it. Really interesting.
Yeah, and he's not doing anything with it. I wasn't sure whether that would move across the map at all or what he would try and do.
Yeah, I feel like Sabre was just really expecting the Reaper all in here. Maybe Ferret does that occasionally on ladder or something. Saw that in his match history.
it's almost something that, yeah, that's certainly possible that he saw that he did this on the map. This is something that may be appropriate to do against Canary later, because he does that sort of thing a lot, proxy Reaper openings. But
Huh.
either way, it's still a very like stable core of a force. Like if you get tanks and a few Marauders against a bunch of Marines, it's just a stable thing. But not so good against the Banshees.
Yeah, his opening last game was kind of weird also, going up to the 6 Reapers and not really getting anything done with them. That kind of set him on track for what ended up happening last game. And I like these Marauders with Concussive Shell in this position more than having overbuilt Reapers. I mean, yeah, he's going to have nothing at home to defend this Banshee other than his turret positioning. But the Marauders, as far as a straight-up fighter concerned, are much better for fighting. Oh, and Sabre's actually going to lose his tank in mid-map, trying to prepare attack with these Marauders, the one Marine and the tank, but Ferret's Banshee is in perfect position to pick that up.
Neither one of them even considering an expansion at the moment, which is just weird to begin with. But the Marauders will get up here, and they're actually going to get a lot down on this depot.
Yeah, break it down, but the Banshees clean up the Marine, no problem. Now these Marauders are just going to die. I mean, that investment is decent. They pick up an SCV and a supply depot, but the Banshees here with the Widow Mines and the Marines, if Ferret takes any more damage from these, yeah, there you go. So he cleans it up. No big deal. Sabre, once again, kind of finding himself in a disadvantageous position, I think. Both players getting their second CC now, both realizing that their kind of one-based plans have petered out and are kind of nullified. Especially since Sabre knows the Banshee's out on the map right now. Ferret's not going to be able to get too much done with them. He has 2 of them out with Cloak, but with 2 Vikings out and turrets in position, Sabre shouldn't take too much damage from this. So nice Cloak there, dodging the missiles other than that first volley. But moving with this Widow Mine, maybe be able to bait those Vikings in, and splitting up his Banshees, going for the dual-pronged Banshee play with it. Sabre has excellent turret coverage, so he shouldn't, once again, not take very much damage.
He does,
that.
and even getting
turrets,
a Raven on top of that, that one will fall.
Banshee on the right might be able to pick up an SCV or something. Nice.
No
picks up
reaction
1
yet.
kill.
There we go, Vikings.
Vikings coming in, they're going to clean that up, no problem. Since the turret's in position to detect this, and yeah, I'd say Ferret just had it on a hold position, so it's going to die. See what Ferret now preparing 3 Hellions, moving out with those in a medevac. With the siege tank here and the Marines and a Viking again, Ferret's just once again going to be throwing away units. I feel like if he tries to get too much done with this, there's this vulnerable spot to land on the right side, and he's going to be able to land his Hellions. But how much he actually manages to kill with them shouldn't be too much. Sabre's way out of position to deal with it, which is nice for him.
Yeah,
Ferret,
the Widow Mine getting another kill here.
Yeah, I'll finally flying that Raven just a little bit down to clean that up.
Oh, Hellions got a really good line there. He's got a really good line.
Man.
If he gets more shots off. Yeah.
Yeah, 7 workers. Oh, and he's got 2 Hellions dropping down in the natural. You're going to pick up even more workers as they clump up on the minerals there. That is a fantastic play by Ferret there. Picking up 15 SCV kills. Oh, that was
that is almost a crippling amount. 18 now dead. It's 18 workers to 37 on Ferret's side.
Yeah, that was. This is a really even game right up until there, and that maneuver by Ferret was just fantastic. I love that kind of play. Very well played by Ferret.
Yeah, Sabre looking for this last medevac, does find it. He should have like a stable enough army to hold like anything immediate, but his economy is so far behind.
Yeah, and he scans the main ramp of Ferret. He sees the barracks production down. He sees the tech lab researching something. He probably knows that's Stim. And he sees the command center and all SCVs transferring. So Sabre knows his position right now. He knows he's way behind in workers. And Ferret's tech is right where he wants it to be. They're about even as far as that concerned overall. But Ferret now adding on his second and third barracks with the reactors, he's going to really ramp up his production. And barracks number 4 and 5 on the way here with command center number 3. Ferret's going to be in a really commanding position here going into the mid stages of this game.
Yeah, for sure. He's looking to get some sort of counter damage done. Vikings and these 2 Ravens are moving out, so we could probably expect like some attempt at auto turrets, but there's a ring of missile turrets around Ferret's base as well, or at least his main. There is, and that's the angle of attack we're going to see.
Ferret is actually going around the map with these Marines, and he's checking all the bases on the right side. Very smart considering what Sabre attempted last game. And yeah, Sabre running into this turret ring now. He's not going to be able to get much done with this force. And Sabre actually back at home adding more turrets on the left flank of his natural. Just turtling up more and more and more. And I don't know if I like that decision very much. Since he's in such a disadvantageous position in this game, he needs to be taking risks to gain that ground back rather than trying to play really, really safe and just defend.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that can work as a meching player. Being defensive is kind of where you want to be, but your supply count should be a little bit lower than your opponent, not down 30, 25 supply or so, what it is now, with a huge economic disadvantage.
Not only that, but upgrade disadvantages. It's kind of disadvantaged in everything. At the moment, there's a force by Ferret coming across the map, though. It's not going to be the ideal force to deal with what Sabre has. Although if he gets caught out with this detachment, that could certainly play a role. Will he catch these medevacs, though? Sabre not.
Yeah, Ferret actually predicting that Sabre is going to take this triangular position third, but Ferret able to clean up Sabre's Marine forces, and both Ravens go down. Ravens. That hurts. Those Seeker missiles.
That was all for free, absolutely for free. And now there's nothing to provide cover here for these tanks. The Vikings not as helpful as you would think.
Yeah, and Ferret's going to be able to take out this turret from the low ground here and then elevate her into the main. The Vikings and Raven aren't in position to deny this as soon as it tries to happen. Here he comes over. He's going to be able to take some damage on this medevacs, hopefully, but he's going to be dropping before that is able to happen. 4 Marines and a medevac go down from that snipe, but now Ferret has a decent position here on this cliff, and he's going to be doing a lot of damage with this. Second medevac goes down, so this Ferret's push is going to lose a lot of momentum here. But he is sniping a factory. This is nice damage from Ferret, especially when you're already have a nice advantageous position. He's moving out with another tank and a bunch of Marauders and Marines now. Yeah, Ferret just playing this out fantastically.
Yeah, Sabre trying to clean up these remaining 3 Marines. Lands the Vikings. It doesn't actually attack with them yet, though.
Yeah, he's just...
I'm not sure what he's paying attention to.
Yeah, kind of disoriented here, Sabre is. Cleaning that up now, finally getting everything squared away back at home. And Ferret kind of easing up the pressure here for a moment, but he's going to gather up his forces out here outside of Sabre's side of the map and then just move in for the kill, I think. That planetary, the third, is really undefended. There's not a lot of SCVs there. They can jump on it to repair. So I think as soon as Ferret identifies this, which he's about to, that's going to go down quickly. Sabre is in no position to unsiege his tanks and move over to try and defend that.
Yeah, not at all. And here comes Ferret's army over on that side. There's not even enough there to really mass repair that. So it may just straight up go down. It's trying to repair here now, but yeah, there's not enough. And
not even close to enough. And just straight up losing that, not just having it denied or anything, like getting a cancel, like that base is just dead. That's 550 minerals and 150 gas that Sabre doesn't have, and a whole lot of income he's missing now. And with Ferret's 3-3 on the way with his Marine Marauder and tank production in full swing, he's just feeling fantastic once again. Sabre is way behind. Sabre actually wasting 2 scans looking for Ferret's force, but it's way out of position. He doesn't see it at all.
He is coming in here now. Still doesn't fully know about it. The only thing I think that could save him is like beautiful Hunter-Seeker missiles, and again, Ferret just charging directly in. But Ferret has no reason to do that. As long as he's on 2 bases, he can just
Yeah,
leave
and
him out there.
Sabre has a lot of surface area to defend here. This isn't like Inferno pools where it's kind of a more direct entrance into your bases. Sabre has to defend this whole cliff and his natural front. He's moving down these 3 siege tanks to the low ground here to actually keep this force pushed back, which will be nice when he tries to establish his bases there. And Sabre recognizes he's so far behind, actually finishing up a 4th and 5th command center here. He needs to, like I said, take those risks and get back in this game. Taking down a medevac, that's a nice pickup, and point defense drones denying these marauders, but the Marines are going to move in and take out these tanks. Ferret's just
really
so far
nice
ahead in supply now, up nearly 70.
Like, this is kind of crazy. The tank positions here are so good.
Yeah, that engagement was extremely favorable for Sabre. Problem is that he has so much ground to make up. It's going to be like Ferret needs to just trade unfavorably like 5 or 6 times like that before he's especially since now he's establishing his extra bases.
Does he have an out?
Down on that marauder.
If he's not paying attention, no, he is.
Ferret,
good for him.
Well done, Ferret.
Yeah,
babysitting his army.
Yeah,
Hunter Seekers are almost as bad as like Widow Mines and Banelings if you aren't paying attention when they move into you. Like if you're back at home macroing up and then your army dies to a couple Hunter Seekers, but Ferret is on top of it. Like he's just shown absolutely fantastic play this series so far, and just kind of that first game lost so much because of that huge Blue Flame Hellion run by from Sabre. But Sabre opting in game 2 and 3 for more early game gambit rather than like that mid game gambit in game 1 is just falling further and further and further behind. He's actually not even going to be able to land his 4th base over here since there's a Marine here. And as soon as Ferret identifies that, he's going to be able to go kill it and deny it. But yeah, Sabre just has to fly that back. Ooh, huge amount of Hunter Seeker missiles. Again. Marines move out of range, but the tanks move out of range. And wow, Ferret with a clutch pickup on the siege tanks. That was fantastic there. Went out, resetting those Hunter Seekers. Gets a pickup, gets a second pickup. Man, Ferret is just showing off here at this point. That was just
okay. The Banshees coming in will now help. They will actually clean up a wave of tanks here.
Yeah, Ferret just giving Sabre a little bit of a lesson here in TVT. He's so far ahead, though. Sabre's just not in any position to hold this off gracefully. I mean, he's just going to be taking damage no matter how well he plays this out. I mean, Sabre's really doing everything right at this point, but once you're this far behind, it's just so impossibly difficult playing against an opponent like Ferret, who's just on top of everything he needs to be here. Banshees coming in and picking off a few Marines. That's nice, and they escape right as the scan happens. But Ferret setting up a fantastic position here. He's actually got ghosts and 3 nukes on the way.
And nukes
like Ferret, oh man, like I said, he was showing off before with the tank pulling, but Ferret is just going ham here.
So he's going to see this though, and he'll be able to.
Oh, Banshees managed to pick out the ghost before the nuke lands. Nice Hunter Seekers, killing both the ghosts. Now he's not going to have to deal with any more nukes here for a little bit.
All right, here comes
he is going to have to deal with a 5 medevac drop into the main. Oh man, if he loses these command centers, and with these 3/3 Marine Marauders with stim, that is a very real possibility for him.
He does lose one of the medevacs that was still mostly full, but there is still a large amount here. The Banshee's coming in, trying to do something.
And he's losing so much of this. Ferret trading away all these forces, losing a medevac there and everything hurts, but he's in a great position to be throwing away units, really. And Sabre just really hurting. But not slacking, getting the high-sec auto-tracking and building armor. So his turrets are a little bit beefier and longer range than normal. I think that's what Ferret wasn't really quite prepared for. He was definitely out of range for a standard turret, but Sabre is turtling hard, and he's getting all the tools available to him. That high-sec auto-tracking and building armor. To
+3 weapons. One major advantage Ferret's had, he's got 3/3 on his bio, but the time for bio when you get into really heavy mech shortens. But here he comes charging in. against this entrenched tank position, taking a ton of damage though as the fleet of air comes over, and he's going to just decimate him here again, and slowly Ferret is losing all of this advantage.
Yeah, Ferret's army is 3-3 with fantastic positioning and maneuvering and everything. But he is, yeah, like you said, losing his grip on this game slowly but surely. Sabre's pulled within 40 supply now. He's got behemoth reactors started. He's about to start that Yamato cannon research and get his battle cruiser tech going.
And there's 10 Banshees. Like, 10 Banshees will kill this planetary fortress before anyone can do anything about it. Like, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 volleys to kill a planetary.
That is hardcore. So many Banshees, especially with the +2 attack and +3 nearly finished on Banshees. I mean, so you're going to do 16 damage per shot with 2 shots per attack. I mean, Banshees just do so much damage here. And Ferret moving in with his main force, he's just going to try and get a lot done here and deny this 4th base again. And Sabre's not in position with his tanks and planetary to deal with this. He's going to lose a lot of workers here.
All these SUVs, yeah.
That's a nice trade for Ferret. Yeah, he's going to gain back that little bit of ground he let slip back into Sabre's hands there. With 2 battle cruisers on the way, though, that's going to be really nice. Ferret is just now getting up his Viking count a little bit, but he's not focusing on it. Like, Sabre could, in theory, just take this with a lot of really good point defense drones, hunter seekers, and with a nice count of Banshee
nice
Viking.
EMP on
all the Banshees.
All the Banshees.
Oh, and the Stim Marines below, he loses all the Banshees at mid-map. That is a huge bulk of Sabre's grip on this game that's lost now.
Yeah, that was the majority of it. That was really the only thing he had going for him up until this battle cruiser. But even then, with Ghost and so on around.
Yeah, nukes coming down in this position here. That planetary and turrets can't move out of the way. Sabre not paying attention. He's got about 3 seconds to move out of the way. No, both nukes are going to land here. Dodges it with one of the battle cruisers here, but the tank's taking fire, planetary taking fire. Now there's no more turrets on this position. Yeah, Ferret is just going to be able to just keep nuking, and I'm so happy to see nukes. I mean, I didn't expect that, but in an all-TVT group, if you're ever going to see him, that's when you're going to see him.
Catching him on siege, the battle cruisers are going to end up dying relatively quickly once the Marines get underneath them, and they do.
Yeah, the BCs are only a +1 armor, so
unchecked. Yeah.
Not sure what Sabre can really do here in this position. He's just lost the key foothold he had to defend this, and now he's losing his natural base, which basically add a mineral, so not super important economically there. But this is the foothold to Sabre's main and his tech and production. With 1 battle cruiser here with these SCVs, the turrets are actually going to pick up some medevacs.
This is interesting, yeah. Now he's got the mass repair going on underneath the BC, which helps, but he's going after it's the medevacs that kind of keep dying on him because of the turret range.
Just losing a lot of supply here. Picked up 23 workers with this harass between the repairing SCVs and what was in that 4th base there. So he's doing quite a bit of work. And Sabre is down almost 90 supply now.
Everything.
And just Ferret has so many buildings, but his position in this game is still so strong that I really feel he's still favored. And especially following up with so many ghosts.
The Banshees. Yeah, the ghosts
the Banshees lost.
He needed the Banshees alive. If the Banshees were still alive, 10 Banshees can be running around making sure that these bases never mine. And there's nothing you can do.
A fantastic EMP. That was really sexy. Not often you get to see ghosts in mech versus bio and TVT. It's usually comes down to tank versus tank positioning, and then just the maneuverability of the Marine, Marauder, and medevacs around the mech player. But the nukes are fantastic. The EMPs are fantastic. Here comes another nuke here on this 3rd base. Oh, Sabre's scanning for it. Not sure where it is. Oh, he sees it now. He might be able to get the tanks out in time. He's going to lose a lot of workers.
Yeah, he's not even pulling.
Here it comes.
There it goes.
Boom. 8 workers down. Turret lost. And now these tanks are way out of position.
Just moves in. He's just going to nuke the planetary itself down.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much Ferret can do in this position.
Yeah,
Now that Ferret has his siege tanks here as well, this is just fantastic. He's not relying on the nukes for too much damage. He's just forcing Sabre to pull back, and these ghosts are really well protected. He's going to get some Hunter Seeker missiles off here. Which drones?
He's going to lose his entire army to this nuke.
Oh, the EMP. The EMP on the battle cruiser. There's no Yamato cannons. There's not much energy, and the Ravens go down to the nuke.
Yeah. Yeah, he just sat in it.
Yeah, there's GG. Very well played from Ferret to move on to the winners match there.